In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install an aftermarket exhaust onto your Honda Metropolitan or Honda Ruckus. Alright, so what we're going to be installing today is the MNNTHBX SP Exhaust system. This comes with your header, muffler, bracket, and hardware. A couple tools you're going to need to remove your old exhaust system and install this one is the 13mm wrench, 6mm Allen key, a 10, 12, and 13mm sockets, along with some extensions, your ratchet, and some locking pliers. First couple tools you're going to need to remove your old exhaust system is a 12mm socket and a 10mm socket with your wrench and extensions. So get that right now. This is going to be a 10. This is to remove the two nuts holding the old header. Alright, and as you can see, this exhaust has been modified. I did cut off the old muffler, but yours is going to still be connected. So this won't come off until you remove these two 12s. So your two 12s are going to be mounted right here. What you want to do is just remove those two 12s, and then your whole exhaust system should come off. You're going to be reusing your two nuts, so hold on to those. Along with this crush washer. Alright, so we removed the old exhaust system. Now it's time to install the new one. First thing, you want to grab your header and install that first. Make sure that you put the washer back into the engine before you install it. And should go in there. Should make sure it sits flush. If it doesn't want to stay in there, you can kind of just put it on your new header, kind of line it up. And then install your two nuts. Alright, and you don't want to tighten those down too tight. You want to keep it a little loose, that way you can slide on your muffler. And then after everything's installed, we can tighten up everything. Another thing I didn't mention is to wear some gloves when you're installing this. The reason why I say gloves is because if you get your fingerprints on it and don't clean it before you start the bite, once everything heats up, it's going to actually burn those fingerprints onto the exhaust system, and you're not going to be able to take that off. So just wear gloves. All right, next up is your muffler. This bracket can only go on one way, and if you see on the old one, they kind of kept with the original muffler, kind of made the bracket kind of the same, so it can only go on one way. Obviously this way it doesn't look the same. Flip it the other way, you can kind of get an idea of how it kind of matches the old one. So, like I said, just keep this loose. That's how it's going to go on. And you're going to want to install this bracket onto your muffler before anything, because you have like a small clearance to actually install this bracket onto the muffler. And say you install this and then you go ahead and you try to install this onto the header, you know, you have so much room to mess with it and it's going to be a hassle. So my advice, install this bracket onto the muffler first. So it comes with 3 different bolts, 2 Allen head, and 1 just standard 13 bolt. This is the one you're going to be using along with your nut to install the bracket onto the muffler. Grab your nut. That's going to go into here. Try to start it with your finger if the nut will cooperate with me. All right, so got it started. So as you can see, there's no opening right here. You turn it around, there's an opening. That's going to be where your wrench is going to be able to hold down that 13 while you tighten it on the other side. Grab your little baby wrench for cute points. I'm not going to tighten this down all the way. I just want to tighten it just so I have some friction on there so it doesn't move everywhere. And then after everything's installed, I'll go ahead and tighten down everything. All right, that's good. Alrighty. Now we're going to slip this on the header. We'll grab our 2 Allen bolts along with 2 provided washers. Slide 1 washer on each one. And this is going to be the 6mm Allen key. Again, just hand tightening everything, getting everything started. All right. So as you can see, once I tighten these down, it's gonna push everything inwards. So that's again, another good reason to keep those loose, because if they were tight and out here, you'd have too much pressure pushing it in. So again, keep that loose, keep these loose, keep this nut and bolt loose until everything's installed, and then we'll go ahead and tighten everything down. Last piece is your spring, and this is what the what are these, vice grips, locking pliers. And I didn't show you before I installed it, but there is a you know what, it's just 2 bolts. Let me just show you. All right, so when you slide this onto your header, if you look on the underside, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bitty hole right there, and this is where your spring is gonna go. It's gonna slide in like that. All right, it's gonna slide in, and this other part of the spring, it's actually gonna go, there's another loop. Let me see if you can see it. Don't fall. So there's another loop right here onto your header, and basically that spring is going to kind of squeeze the muffler onto the header, keeping it from falling off or rattling. So you know, we can actually leave that on there. Once again, slide it on your muffler, or slide the muffler onto the exhaust header. Install your 2 Allen bolts. All right, here's your spring. Get your vice grips. Grab the spring. There you go. All right, so that's spring secured. So now I can tighten the bracket down first. I'm actually going to use a socket with a H6 and extension. Tighten this down. All right, so those 2 are tight. Now I'm going to tighten the 13mm nut and bolt. So maybe a 13 to hold the nut from the bottom side. And then I'm probably gonna need 2 13 wrenches, just because I'm not gonna be able to get my ratchet in the back of that. So let me grab that. All right, so I have those 2 tightened, have the 13mm nut and bolt tightened. So now I can finish it off by tightening the 2 10mm nuts. All right, and that should be it. That's how you install the MNNTHBX SP exhaust system onto your Honda Metropolitan or Honda Ruckus. And keep in mind, for the Honda Metropolitan, it's only going to be from 2002 to 2009. In 2013, they changed the whole engine and body, so just keep that in mind. 2002 to 2009 Honda Metropolitan, and any year Honda Ruckus.